accusers had healthcare professionals standing by. Leaving Neverland, which focuses on two men who say they were abused by Michael Jackson, has left viewers at the Sundance Film Festival shell-shocked and on their feet in support of the two accusers who shared their side of the story.
Two men who accused Michael Jackson of molesting them when they were children receive a standing ovation at the premiere of the explosive documentary Leaving Neverland. Wade Robson and James Safechuck say Jackson began sexually abusing them when they were on tour and during sleepovers at his Neverland Ranch. At the Sundance Film Festival, where the documentary premiered, audience members' reactions were gut-wrenching. Feel sick to my stomach. It's so sexually explicit that counselors are in the lobby, went one tweet. Slightly shell-shocked, went another. In the documentary, Safechuck claims Jackson gave him jewelry in exchange for sex acts and even staged a mock wedding with vows and a diamond ring. In the documentary, Robson, now a well-regarded choreographer, repeated the story he told Inside Edition in 2017 that Jackson made him promise to never reveal the alleged abuse.
The way Michael would talk to me was, if anybody else ever finds out what it is that we're doing, you and I will both get in trouble and we'll both go to jail for the rest of our lives.
The Jackson estate is now condemning the new documentary as a public lynching. Michael Jackson was and always will be 100% innocent of these false allegations. Security was beefed up at the premiere, with Safechuck and Robson being escorted to their car by police.
The film is slated.
I stopped it because I'm not going to give the companies, not take that back. I should have let it play. HBO going to air it. And I think that the Jackson estate, those of us who are fans of Michael Jackson, those of us who believe this brother is being attacked and deaf need to say something. Look, I've done many commentaries on Jackson. And I've always stated that Michael walked into this either being super naive or believing that his wealth and his kindness would be understood. But Michael failed to realize no matter how much plastic surgery he got, he was still a black man. Even though he said it, he tried to run away from it. Now, I know people are going to say he changed his skin tone. No, the man had vitiligo. And the reason why he decided to even his skin tone, because the makeup. If you go back and look at it, and I've said this before, go look at the old clips of him in his when he started to hit his teens and early 20s. You could see his skin was changing. And Cicely Tyson has no reason to lie. She suggested Michael wear a glove to cover up the spots on his hand. And we've seen people recently, more so women, have begun modeling careers with vitiligo. It's starting to be somewhat accessible because of who's out there, women. But for men, it can be devastating. Not saying it's not devastating for women, but if you've been paying attention to the news, I think it's maybe about 2, maybe 3 black models out there who have vitiligo. And we've seen people in our community for years with that disease. But the thing is, because Michael chopped his face up, because Michael hung around white folk, people would assume that he hated his blackness. And maybe to a certain degree he did. And everybody came up with theories why, but the whole family had plastic surgery. Hell, if you're not in Hollywood and don't have plastic surgery, people look at you weird. Beyonce's had it, Halle Berry, the Braxtons, George Benson, Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, they've had it. And that's something that we as a community, as a people, have to start to have conversations about. But I don't want to get too far off the subject. The Jackson family and his estate says is a public lynching. It is a public lynching. The two guys, Wade Robinson and the other guy, I can't pronounce his name. Wade Robinson, I think he's 36, 37 years old. So he was well into adulthood when Michael went on trial, right? And the other guy, They say he's 42 years old. That means he's born in 1976. So he was old enough and grew up during a time where we talked about those things. They had TV shows that did a special episode of Different Strokes, a special episode of Punky Brewster, a special episode of Facts of Life. After school programs, weekend school programs, stranger danger, inappropriate contact. That's all they did in the 1980s. And there was a reason behind that nobody want to talk about. When black folks started moving up, some of the baby boomers was able to go to school, or able to get stable and well-paying jobs, and was able to branch out of the neighborhoods into different communities and stuff. Or you had black professionals started coming in contact with more white folk, young white folk. White folks needed an out. They needed to say, well, we don't want them to discipline our children in school. Remember back in the day when we was kids, teachers got you the ruler, made you stand in the corner. We don't want no black person doing that. So we take corporal punishment out of school. We don't want our kids interacting with any black adult. So if anything inappropriate happens, they got a fail-safe to fall back on. Because historically, Caucasian people have lied about black men and black women and black children being sexually aggressive. Now, I'm not saying that our community don't have any issues. Every community has somebody that crosses that line. But for what my understanding of pedophilia is, or a serial child molester, they have not just 1, 2, or 3 victims. They have a multitude of victims. They raided this man's home. They raided his other properties in the California area. They went through everything, and they found nothing. Pedophiles exchange images, porn. They hide it. They found nothing. And a lot of the people now in the media seem to think that we forgot that the FBI came out a few short years ago and said they've been monitoring Michael Jackson since 1978, 79. That's a long time. And if they found anything that was questionable, they would have stopped Michael Jackson before Thriller and anything became a mega hit. If they found out anything during that time of Thriller, then bad, they would have said something. When he came out in the early 90s, when he was trying to get back to his black base, because somebody whispered in Michael's ear, you didn't got too far to the white folk. That's why he came out, Remember the Time, and did that In the Closet and Gem. He wanted to show the black community, hey, I'm still down with you. And it was obvious. Even I picked up on it. Because I remember me and my parents and my brothers saying, he's pandering to us. Because white folks got tired of him. They didn't use them. And the idea that this brother has broken records and still can go sell out concerts all over the globe. You still got artists chasing Michael Jackson, even in death. They call Elvis the king. Elvis ain't got nowhere near what Michael Jackson has done. Michael Jackson been performing, he was a little boy, all until the day he died. Michael Jackson sold automobiles. Right now, he's selling Applebee's. They have been video games. Just, 5 years ago, in fact. Now you got 2 dudes whose life is stuck and they want money. Let me say Michael Jackson molested me, I get some quick money. Now, Tom Mesereau, who was Michael Jackson's lawyer, said last week, he said, these guys are liars. He said, if these guys were molested, they had every opportunity in the world to destroy Michael. And they could have been sitting pretty off that. Now, what happened was Wade wanted to be the choreographer at Michael Jackson experience in Vegas. They said, no, we don't need you. Just because you knew Michael don't mean that you get the benefit or keep eating off Michael's name. Corey Feldman, who knew Mike for years, even him and Michael had a falling out. To this day, Corey said Mike never did what y'all accused him of doing. When Corey was going around saying, hey, these are the people that's doing it, Deborah Norville, Megyn Kelly, Barbara Walters, you name it, was dismissive of them. What's his name? Matt Lawler, all them people was dismissive of him. Macaulay Culkin, he has no reason to lie for Michael Jackson anymore. But Macaulay Culkin, Corey Feldman, Alfonso Ribeiro, Emmanuel Lewis, and many other children, Whoopi Goldberg's daughter and grandchildren. Michael never did anything inappropriate because Whoopi Goldberg had to check Joy Behar a few years back. This is why I get mad at D.L. Hughley and Boyce Watkins and some of these other brothers out here. You know how easy it is to put a sex charge on a black man. Yeah, did we find it odd that Michael was around kids? Yeah, I can't even spin that one. But that doesn't mean he did anything inappropriate. There are a lot of adults that have conversations with kids or even play games with kids. They mean that if a guy is out on the basketball court and some kids challenge him to a game, that means he's messing with them? No. You have people who are bus monitors that kids ask adults questions and adults interact with them. But the thing is, if you believe that Michael was a predator, then you have to ask yourself, what the fuck was mom and dad? That kills me. How the parents are absolved of any responsibility when it comes down to interacting with other people. My parents did not let me and my siblings go to anybody's house. We was usually with our parents, and if we wasn't around, we was around an aunt or uncle or our grandmothers. And even then, that was limited. What it is, these white folks see dollar signs. They know it's easy to blame a black person, especially a black man, of a sex crime. I told y'all way before 2017, I said they making dry runs back on Michael Jackson. Some of y'all like, nah, Harvey, they ain't gonna do that. They can't prove nothing. I said, okay. I told you in 2017, I said, watch, they're gonna bring Michael Jackson up. They've been bringing up Michael Jackson lately. Remember I did those videos when I said, why is Megyn Kelly them talking about Michael Jackson? Why is Inside This talking about Michael Jackson all of a sudden? I knew it. I knew it was coming. They was priming the audience. Just like they did with O.J. Simpson. You don't hear nobody talking about O.J. Simpson now. They was priming the audience. They was setting another generation of people who don't ask questions, who don't know the history of this country. Yeah, he did it. You got black folks saying, yeah, he did it. Mr. Farrakhan, Mr. Farrakhan ain't got no reason to lie for Michael Jackson. Dick Gregory had no reason to lie for Michael Jackson. But see, Dick Gregory ain't here anymore. And people are dismissive of Mr. Farrakhan. And let me tell y'all, the Nation of Islam, or black people in general, we have no love for pedophiles. They had to separate pedophiles and rapists in jail. But see, people don't know our culture, don't know how black folks get down. You got a few brothers who say, we don't talk about sexual assault. Black folks believe that you keep shit private within the family. Because when you tell everybody your business, they use it against you. But see, Michael had to have some blame too on this one. He put the wrong people around him. Michael became enamored with white folk. And those same white folk he had around, they was living large off of him, ain't living large from him. They said, we gotta get some of that nigga money. He did, but we gotta get, and they know he can't defend himself. And everyone in that room who stood up and applauds, everyone who participated in that documentary, you are a fucking racist. This man, I mean, if Wade thought that Michael did something wrong, why didn't you yell in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. No, you waited till they talking about Michael was gonna start doing that Michael Jackson experience, and they say thank you but no thank you, and all of a sudden now Michael Jackson did something to you. Then you get another dude to come out, 42 years old. You was a teenager in the 90s. You hit puberty, what, 89, 88, 89? You was what, 12 years old? So it was no. So what happened? When did this happen? When did Michael Jackson start hanging around a bunch of white kids? So Macaulay Culkin, Corey Feldman, they line for Mike. Corey Feldman, right now, his career he would get paid. He would get paid. He would be back on TV. He'd be everywhere. He'd be selling out town halls. But Corey Feldman never said, "No, I'm not going to do that." Nah, they have it's what it is. White media, white folk want to believe that Michael was the boogeyman because they want to dethrone this man as the king of pop. I say he's the king of music. Okay, I don't care how y'all slice it. Last year when they came out that the Eagles beat them and y'all got mad at me, I said they took the compilation sales of the Eagles and that's how they came up with it. But other than that, nobody's ever gonna touch Michael Jackson. And y'all got mad at me. I said that's how they came up with it. I didn't say I agree with it. Les Moonves destroyed his sister's career. You think they wanted a brother and sister and other family members to dominate entertainment? Think about it. They refused to call Joe Jackson a genius, but the Osmond family, all I forgot the name of their parents, and I'm not picking on the Osmonds, but when they talk about the Osmonds' parents, they saw some of their sons, and they were able to get them on Andy. What's his name? Andy. I forget the guy that he died. I forget whatever his name is. Get him on his show, and he became a staple on the show. People forget that in the 1970s, a lot of those groups imitated the Jacksons. Even Elvis, the way Elvis was dressing. Go back and look at the influence that the Jackson family had on fashion, in music, and the way they dance. Bette Midler, said, "I'm glad that Joe Jackson is dead." Nobody called out for that. Why would you have such anger and even resentment? Because he was a black man. He had a black family. It was talent. People like to compare the brothers. All of them are talented. These men are damn near 70 years old and still touring around the globe, still selling out. There are artists today that wish they had that kind of staying power. Yeah, Michael was the face of the family because he took it to another level. He didn't let nobody tell him no. That's what they hate that. When they write books, they gotta say Michael wasn't satisfied, and see that's what scared them. Why do you think they went after Chris Brown's horror? Michael anointed. He said Chris is the next thing. That was a lot. Michael didn't say that about too many people. Why do you think they still going hard on Chris Brown? White America got mad when Michael Jackson did the black for Bill O'Reilly and Peter King. Well, why black American? Why do you care what we think? Y'all supposed to be the dominant. Y'all supposed to be the smart ones. Why? Y'all so damn obsessed with what we do, what we think. But to sit back here and HBO, an AT&T company, let me remind y'all, AT&T owned HBO, which owns Warner Brothers, DC Comics, DirecTV. They have an agenda. See, what it is, they got a hard on. We got Bill Cosby. We're doing R. Kelly. And yeah, I know people gonna talk about, but we ain't talking about his past. Now he went to court for that. We talking about his current charges or what they say. No, we did that. We still messed with Chris Brown. We didn't went after Nelly. We messed with Drake sort of, but we don't want to mess with him too much because it'd be too obvious. We went after Anthony Anderson and Jamie Foxx and Todd Bridges, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Morgan Freeman, Russell Simmons, Tavis Smiley. Prince is dead, so now when Prince knows all Prince music is on TV now, on YouTube and other social media sites. See what it is, if you have any talent or any influence, they want to control it. They want to be able to say when you tell you listen to it, when you're not listen to it. And our people are contributing to these attacks. Because I'm going to tell you what the next move is going to be. Stop playing Michael Jackson music. All of a sudden, those child advocates, they've been silent for the Catholic Church, or was silent when Corey Feldman and others was coming out. Why should come out? Protest Michael Jackson music. Nobody sells his iTunes. Take his music off iTunes. Don't play his videos anymore. Don't sell none of his concerts and DVDs. Scrub them off YouTube. I'm telling you what they're going to do. Because Michael Jackson is still making money dead as he was alive. Even more so since he died. Because they got his likeness, his music out there to everybody to hear. But I had told y'all, I said, they coming back for him. I said, they ain't finished with Michael. They didn't like that what happened in 2005. I wonder if they're going to interview Geraldo Rivera and see if he changed his tune. I wonder if they're going to interview all them people who was in the witness. And let me tell you something. If I was the Jackson family, I would get a private investigator and start looking to the finances of these cats. Look, if I know people gonna say, I never met Michael. You don't know. Michael could have done what they said. But no, if you had the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, monitoring this dude, you had a sheriff go to this man's house twice and didn't find no evidence, and you don't have a line of people come out saying that Michael did things, come on, man. It don't take. And I saw the interview. You could tell that dude lying. Yes, I take this personal as a black man because I'm gonna tell you something. I was watching the documentary about the birth of the nation, the first birth of the nation. Actually, it was titled "The Klansman." That's what we need to call it. It was called "The Klansman." It was based off of a bestseller back during that time. When they made that movie, I'm gonna tell you something. If you look at that movie, the propaganda in that movie, and realize a sitting president, President Wilson, gave it an okay. When you had cities in the north and in the south play that, they helped stoke up these racial fears and these stereotypes. Let me tell you something. When I see a female, I give her as much respect as she deserves. And what I mean by that is, I don't get in her face, yo, baby, yo, whatever stereotype they say we do. I don't get up there and say, let me get your number. I don't do none of that stuff. I say, how you doing? Good morning. If I walk up to you and say, how you doing? My name's Harvey. You know, what's your name? If she turns me out like I'm not bothered, I turn around and walk away. Yeah, my pride is hurt, but I have to respect that space. If I see a little girl, a little boy, hey, how you doing? Hey, mister, keep going. Or I don't even pay attention to him. I keep driving. Because today, if you say anything to a child, it's going to be misconstrued. That man said something to my son. He must have wanted to do something to him. I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to the park. And you had older dudes and grown men playing sports. And boys, you're going to want to get, like, I can take that guy. Hey, youngster, you want to play? Hey, bro, you want to play? Today, you can't do that. Why are you playing with kids? He must want to molest them. Every week, it's not black men that you hear getting arrested. There's white women and white men. White women more than anybody. How many black men have been accused of sex crimes and come to find out years later it never happened? I'm telling y'all, this is dangerous with what's being done. A lot of people don't realize that it's going to get to a point, black men, young or old, going to be viewed as predators. It's going to get to the point where we ain't going to be able to interact with our own children or relatives' children or be teachers or physicians because they think that all we think about is sex. Doesn't matter male or female, young, old. That's what they think. And any adult that's kind-hearted or go back to their childhood and say, well, I want to donate money to this school or this charity, you're gonna have to think, you're gonna have to question, wait a minute, if I do this, people are gonna misconstrue the wrong way. Michael gave tons of money to charities for their children. Michael doesn't present as what they say a predator is. Where's all the jewelry that this guy supposed to have gotten from Michael Jackson? They said Michael made him have performed oral sex. I mean, come on, man. There's no way in hell. And all the backlash and hate Mike was getting during that time, you mean tell me these dudes were afraid to say something? See, that's white folk logic. That's white folk diversionary tactics. And unfortunately, some of our people have picked up that same talking points. People keep forgetting that the FBI, and I can't repeat this enough, he was under surveillance by the FBI. If they had anything on this man, they would have used it. They would have brought it forth. Wade Robinson was well in his 20s when Michael died. Excuse me. He was a teenager in the 90s. He could have easily sat there and said, hey, Michael did this to me. When he went to court, he could have turned around and said, I can't do this. Michael Jackson molesting me. And it would have destroyed Michael right then and there. But he didn't. It wasn't until he couldn't make no more money off being around doing Michael Jackson when he changed his tune. I remember when he flipped. But see, as I said before, Michael put himself and his family and even his fans in a situation where no matter what you say, no matter how much logic you present, how much evidence you present, that he's still going to be seen as a pedophile. This is, I keep telling people, this is extremely dangerous for black men. Have you not noticed the number of black men they've been making documentaries and bringing up old cases and hearsay? I told y'all that Me Too movement started, when white women before it even was titled Me Too, I said this is a witch hunt, and I said we're gonna be the faces sooner or later. No, I said okay, y'all ain't been paying attention. They've been trying to get Michael Jackson for 30 years. With climate that we in now, this super sensitive, overhyped, willing to believe anybody lies now. Michael, I'm telling y'all what's going to happen. You're going to have people out there going to start dropping Michael Jackson's name again in their conversations. They're going to start cherry picking the stuff that Michael said or was insinuated over the years. Ask yourself, why do they only play Martin Bashir video, but not the video that Mike took that shows the complete picture? They won't do that because it will prove a point. Why don't they never play the audio of Michael Jackson speaking, talking about he forgive his father. He understands his father more now that he became a parent. They don't play that because it sells that Michael Jackson's father get along. It sells that Janet Jackson is this and that. Tito Jackson. It sells. Look how rude Oprah was when she came to the Jackson family home and Joe was there. She was so disrespectful. Everybody want to present the black man as the boogeyman. I was watching the documentary about Reese Taylor. She was raped by 6 white dudes. Nobody talks about that. or the countless other black women that were victimized, even to this day. But first thing people say, the black man don't care about black women. Huh? Black men take advantage of children. Huh? But when you look at the history of this country and this world, we're not leading in those categories. Now, as I said before, Michael could have very well been what people say he is. But with the evidence that was out there before, that's out there now, it don't add up. And you got guys that let's okay. Let's go from this perspective. Let's say for shits and giggles that Michael did do what he did to those dudes. Why did you get on a stand and lie? Because you was getting something, you thought you was going to get something out of it. You can't use that, I was afraid. Afraid of Michael Jackson? He was at the most vulnerable. They had the man in handcuffs. Y'all remember the mug shot? You had this man by the proverbial balls. Just like, and so when I hear people say, well, I was afraid. Afraid of what? I can understand if you live in a certain community and the police presence is a joke, the legal system is a joke. But you're white. You're white identified. All you gotta do is say Michael white boogers on you and people will believe it. What it is that you know that this man got accused, and he got accused twice. Even though he was cleared, people still, Michael Jackson, he's weirdo. Michael Jackson messed with kids. As I said before, I was in Iraq, and one of my NCOs, he was amazed that nigga got away with it. And the lieutenant like waving like, don't say nothing. I'm just looking at it. I didn't say nothing. Now, if I was a civilian, I would have told his ass off. If I was backstage side, I would have told his ass off. But I said, I'm in a war zone. Fratricide. So I just sit there and said, y'all proving my point. What happened was people saw Spike Lee doing documentaries about Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson was even in death. They said, no, I can't have that. We gotta make that nigga the boogeyman. You have a documentarian automatically believe these white. We believe you. We're gonna go tell your story. Never mind that the guys testified was inconsistencies in their story. Never mind the FBI came out and said that, hey, we had been monitoring this man for years. Never mind there's no evidence ever been proven to show that this man was a child molester. What it is that he's a black man and you play into the oldest stereotype. That's how Emmett Till lost his life. People thought that a 14-year-old Chicago boy was trying to holler at a white woman. It's offensive to me and every other self-respecting black male. Yeah, there gonna be comics out here gonna throw, yeah, he did it. I ain't never forget Ari Spears said, yeah, black people need to stop defending people because they're black. No, that's not it. We don't defend each other just because we're black. I don't know where you got that from. Because if that was the case, our community would be more tight-knit. We wouldn't have to worry about the violence perpetrated by blacks on other blacks. We wouldn't have to worry about the name call. We have to worry about the negative images that we present. No, what it is that people want to believe that a black man can control his sexual urges. They want to believe that a black man can't, he sees something sexually all the time. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you about what's going to happen. It's going to get to the point where a black man is not going to be walking down the street. I'm telling you, young or old. And I noticed also, they used to do, but they don't do now, about Michael Jackson's sexuality. They dare not go there anymore because they be saying gay people are pedophiles. And they don't want to open that can of worms when in fact, let's be honest, majority of pedophiles are gay. But they don't want to go down there, so we just going to just play that he can control, he had to be around children. I hope the Jackson family push back. I hope his estate push back. But don't be surprised you're going to hear people stuck. I remember when that old boy Ryan Chevron and Windy City Live brought out Michael Jackson. Well, you know, I said, why did everybody drop a Michael Jackson name in all these conversations all of a sudden? Y'all remember I was saying that? I said, they up to something. And I knew it. When I heard about it, I said, there you go. I'm telling you, brothers, right now, well off or not, you're going to get to a point where you're going to have your cell phone out recording everything you do. You're going to tell everybody your every move, because I'm telling you, man, they're trying to paint us as sexual predators again. And it seems to be working. And I'm going to tell you, some of you sisters and some of you moist dudes that are going along with this is dangerous. It's going to bite all of us back on the ass.